The Cold War was a complex and multifaceted period that shaped the world as we know it today. Did you know that it lasted nearly 45 years from the end of World War II in 1947 until the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1991? This era was marked by intense political tension between the United States and the Soviet Union. But it was also a time of remarkable cultural shifts and espionage. One surprising fact is that the term Cold War was first coined by George Orwell in 1945. He used it to describe the ongoing state of tension between the East and West, even though there was no direct military conflict. Speaking of conflict, the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. It was a mere 13 days of high-stakes negotiation that could have ended in catastrophe. Espionage played a crucial role during this time. The CIA and KGB were engaged in a shadowy battle of intelligence. One of the most famous spies was Aldrich Ames, who worked for the CIA but was actually a double agent for the Soviets. His betrayal led to the exposure and execution of several American agents in the USSR. Culturally, the Cold War influenced everything from literature to film. The fear of communism permeated American society, leading to the Red Scare and the infamous McCarthy hearings. Hollywood responded with films like Dr. Strangelove, which satirized the absurdity of nuclear war. Another fascinating aspect is the space race. The launch of Sputnik by the Soviets in 1957 shocked the world and marked the beginning of a fierce competition for technological supremacy. This led to the Apollo 11 mission in 1969, when the U.S. landed the first humans on the moon, a monumental achievement that was as much about national pride as it was about scientific progress. The Cold War also saw the rise of lesser-known figures who played pivotal roles. Take, for instance, Lech Walesa, a Polish electrician who co-founded the Solidarity movement. His efforts in the 1980s helped challenge Soviet control in Eastern Europe, ultimately contributing to the fall of communism in the region. In Asia, the Cold War had its own unique dynamics. The Vietnam War, often viewed through the lens of American involvement, was also a struggle for national identity and independence for the Vietnamese people. The war left deep scars and had lasting effects on U.S. foreign policy. The arms race escalated to staggering heights, with both superpowers amassing thousands of nuclear warheads. At its peak, the U.S. had around 31,000 nuclear weapons, while the Soviet Union had about 40,000. This stockpiling created a precarious balance known as mutually assured destruction, or MAD, which, paradoxically, may have prevented direct conflict. The Cold War also sparked a wave of artistic expression. Artists, musicians, and writers used their platforms to comment on the political climate. The Beat Generation, for example, emerged as a response to the conformity of the era, pushing boundaries in literature and culture. As the Cold War drew to a close, the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 became a powerful symbol of the end of division in Europe. It marked not just the collapse of a physical barrier, but also the ideological divide that had defined global politics for decades. In retrospect, the Cold War was not just a battle of superpowers. It was a complex interplay of ideas, cultures, and individuals. The legacy of this era continues to influence international relations and cultural narratives today. Understanding these 50 surprising facts about the Cold War helps us appreciate the intricate tapestry of history that has shaped our modern world.